Hello beauties, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So this vlog is going to be all about mamas or mamahood. So if you're a mama, gather here and let's have a chit chat. And over here, no judging each other. Let's start. So isn't being a mother the most wonderful thing? And isn't it also the most wonderful, you get the most wonderful feeling in the world? And isn't it also the most challenging? One thing I always say is every mother, be it mother to be or you're already a mother, whether you're a mother of one or more than one, you should really be so proud of yourself, because what you do in grooming those kids and raising them, doing everything, it's not easy. It's beautiful, yes, but it's not easy. Tell yourself, regardless of the mistakes you make, tell yourself that you're doing a great job. One thing I always do is tell myself that I'm a great mother, because I know I'm a great mother despite of the mistakes I make, because I understand and I know the mistakes I make shape me into being a better mother. Because honestly, being a mother doesn't mean you're perfect. No. I always say raising your kid or your kids starts the moment you get pregnant, because then you start learning what to do, what not to do. You make mistakes, you learn from them. It's like you're starting kindergarten and you start learning from there, you know? And every step of the way, it's a learning process to the point you give birth, you know? As you're teaching your kids, you also learn. And I always tell my son, you know, I also learn so much from you. And he tells me, yeah, mama, I know I teach you so much. And that's the truth. We as parents, as mothers, we learn. As we raise the kids, we learn. Yes, we also learn from our mothers, we learn from our aunties, because one thing I know is I'm a good mother because a good mother also raised me. Being a mother doesn't mean being perfect or being right all the time. No. And it's okay to not know it all. It's totally okay, you know? And you don't have to raise your kid the same way another parent, another mother out there is raising their kids. It's okay to not even raise your own kids the same way your auntie raised their kids or your mother raised you, you know? Everybody has their own method or techniques on how to raise their own kids. Yes, you can pick some tips that you really think they're really great, but you don't have to beat yourself into doing everything the same way another mother is doing. No. Some tips that I've really learned along the way while raising my baby boy is first, patience. And not only being patient with yourself, but with your kid. I know it's very hard. Sometimes you feel like, you know, but being patient is one of the most important things while raising your kid or your kids. That I also really had to learn along the way. And yes, it's still a learning process, but I'm happy and I'm very proud of myself. Another thing I had to learn is sometimes letting your kids make decisions for themselves. Of course, not the major decisions, but it's good to let them make decisions for themselves sometimes. So when they make mistakes, they learn from them and they know how to make a better decision next time. So that's something that I also want to learn. I know sometimes it can be difficult for parents to let their kids, you want to decide for them this, but it's important. I mean, this is a human being, this is someone growing. And how do they grow if they don't make their own decisions and if they don't make mistakes and learn from them? And I think the best way is when you let them make a decision, then sometimes they make a mistake, just the same way I make a mistake when I sometimes make decisions that aren't very good. And I think that's really good. I think it helps them know that they can't just make abrupt decisions, and they have to really be careful in decisions that they make. And I think that way they'll be careful next time while making another decision, because they know, oh, last time I made a decision and it didn't go so well, so this time I have to be careful with the decision I make. And I think that's really good. And another thing I had to understand and I had to get used to is that it's okay, mama. It's okay to take breaks without feeling any guilt. You know, it's okay. And it's also okay to let your kids know that you sometimes need space, that you sometimes need to be alone, that you sometimes need to have a you time. You know, you can't always be with them. It's okay. Because if you're not okay, then how will you be able to take care of them if you're not okay? This is something, and I know for most parents, especially if it's your first kid, or I think even if you have 2 or 3, I think it's really hard, especially if they're young. But as long as you have someone that you trust, that you can live your kid with, and that you know your kid is comfortable around them, that you know they feel safe there, and you know that they're safe there, and you also feel comfortable leaving them there, then take a break. Take a break, go take care of yourself, and come back recharged, you know. And sometimes my son, even when we're in the house, sometimes I don't know how he understands, but sometimes even when I'm with him, I really need I need to space without mama, and that's okay, you know. And he comes and tells me, mama, I'm going to the playground, or mama, I'm going to my room. I'll give you some space, okay, mama? And this really makes me so happy to know that at such a young age, my son already knows that and understands that if I need space, or if anybody needs space, then you give them that space. And I always tell him, baby, if you need space, you know, without me interfering or being in your space, even we're in the same house, tell me. And I give him that space, because I want, or I need, when I need my space, I need my space, you know. And it's okay. And I'm so proud of my son. And I'm also so proud of myself, because I understand this is not only good for him or for me, it's also good as he grows up to understand that he will need space and people will have to give him his space. Also, mamas, do you apologize to your kids? This is something that I think it's really important as a mother. Also acknowledge our mistakes, because we are not perfect, you know. So acknowledge when we make mistakes and apologize to our kids, you know. That way they will also know that yes, we make mistakes, yes, it's okay to make mistakes, but you acknowledge your mistakes and you apologize. But one thing I also do is I don't force my son to apologize. I always tell my son, baby, you apologize when you feel ready to apologize, because there is no need for me to force him to apologize and then he doesn't mean it. He just says because, oh, mama forced me to apologize. No. And in most cases, if he tells me, mama, I'm not ready to apologize, or mama, I have to think, let me think first, I give him that space, and then after sometimes it just comes and says, not even less than 5 minutes, it comes and tells me, mama, yes, I did this and this and this, and I'm really sorry, mama. Or if he did something to another kid, he will come and say, mama, I realized my mistake. I'm going to apologize, because I wouldn't want so and so to do the same thing to me. And in most cases, it doesn't even take long for him to come and say, mama, now I'm ready. But like I said, you don't always have to do exactly what another mama is doing. So just because I don't force my son to apologize doesn't mean you should do the same thing. You do what you think is best for you and your kids, or your kid. For me, in my opinion, I don't think it makes sense to force my son to apologize and then he just says it because mama said I should apologize. I think it's something that it really has to mean it, you know. And yeah, that's how I do it. Also, one way we express ourselves, so my son and I, is we write a lot of notes to each other's, and some of them are like this. And it says, ich fühle mich so, vegan dear. When I annoy him, this is what I get. But most of the time I get this. This is what I get most of the time. I also do love writing little notes for him, especially when he comes from school and he finds them at home. He gets so happy, and I love it. So mama, tell me, do you have a way that you express yourself, or that your kids express themselves with you? How? Let's learn, okay? And you don't have to take everything that every parent does. You can take some tips, but you don't have to do exactly how every parent is doing out there. You're doing great how you're doing it. Oh, I also learned something very good during class parents meeting at school that we had the other day. And we were talking about everything in general, but we also talked about how do you reward your kid when they do so well at school, or when they do well in a test. And the teacher said that the best reward you can give to your kid is time. Instead of buying like toys, which I know most parents do, I am guilty too, the best way is to do like an activity with them. You know, like for example, go do something that you really know that he loves, or try out something else. And that's the best reward you can give him, time. And that's something that I also learned, and I'm really grateful for that. Another thing that I think a lot of parents don't understand is sometimes it's okay to put yourself first. In some situations, I know as parents we always say, oh, my kid or my kids come first in everything. No, sometimes in some situations, you come first, because if you're not okay, then your kid won't be. And this is also another reason why a lot of ladies stay in abusive relationships, because they're saying, I'm staying because of my kids or my kid. No, you're not doing it because of your kids. If you're staying in a marriage, in a relationship, or whatever it is, and it's abusive, imagine the trauma you're causing these kids. Imagine. Do you think these kids are happy seeing the parents fight, or seeing the mother or the father not being happy? What's better? Staying together and seeing this, knowing very well that this is not, the whole situation is not doing these kids or that kid any good, or staying separate, and the kid sees that both of my parents are very happy. What's best? And this, in most cases, it's always ladies who stay in abusive relationships. Stop saying that you're staying in an abusive relationship because of the kids or because of the kid. No, you're staying in that abusive relationship, abusive marriage, because you don't want to take that other step. You're too scared. You're staying there because that's the decision you're making, to stay there. You're staying there because you don't see yourself moving forward. Or maybe you're saying you're staying in that relationship or marriage because what will people think? What will my family think? What will who think? So what? Will they be there if your kids are grown and they are traumatized because of the situation you decided to put yourself and the kids through? They won't be there, you know? So it's you. When you're making that decision, you're making that decision for yourself, so that your kids can be happy. So if you're saying you're staying in that relationship because of your kids, put yourself first in this situation. And yes, you're putting yourself first, but you're also thinking about the kids. And maybe at that point you're not thinking about the kids, but trust me, it will be best for you and the kids, you know? So I hope if there is any lady going through this out there, and I know there are so many, I pray and I hope that you get the courage to put yourself first in this situation. So mama, do you have a routine for your kid or your kids? Do you? For example, during school days, one of the routine that I have is my son already knows and he's already used. During school days, he has to be in bed by 8 o'clock, latest 8:30. And that gives me time to have my own time before I go to bed, take care of myself. And also this also is good for him because in the morning, there won't be a struggle to wake up to go to school. He won't be too tired to wake up. And I think this is a very good, it helps me, you know. And what routine do you have? If you're a mama, tell me which routines or which routine you have for your kid or your kids. Even if you watch this video maybe in 2 years or a month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. You know, tell me about if you have any routine and tell me if you think having a routine as a parent is good. Maybe, just maybe, I will also talk about some routines that I have and that have really, really helped me along the way while raising or grooming and bringing up my son. And we could talk, we could learn from each other. But as a mother, the most important thing is pray for strength because we need it. Pray for courage, pray for wisdom to raise your kids or your kid the best way possible. And while doing so, know that the best way possible won't be the way it should be if you won't make mistakes and learn from them. And applaud yourself. Tell yourself how proud you are, how proud of yourself you are. Applaud yourself every single day you get to raise your kids. You're doing the absolute best, mama. You're doing the absolute best. Be proud of yourself. Applaud yourself. You know, sometimes beat your chest and say, I am really proud of myself for how I am taking care of my kids or my kid, for how I'm raising them. You know, raise them to be better people. And you're doing it. You're doing it wonderfully. Also, while you pray for yourself, don't forget to pray for your kids. Pray for your kids. Speak good things in your kids' lives. Speak peace, speak love, speak courage, speak wisdom, tell them all these beautiful things. Speak even if they're not there. Speak good things and positive things over their lives. Speak because this tongue has power. And our thoughts have power too. So teach your kids to also say positive things about themselves. See positive things about themselves. And this also helps kids to see beautiful things about other kids, about themselves, about others, you know. So speak positive over your kids' lives. Pray for you, pray for your kids, and be proud of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.